Hi, Marks again. Just a little something to talk about today. It's just come through for me. It keeps coming through all the time, to be honest. I keep getting reminded about this. I'm not sure, because my memory is so brilliant, I'm not sure if I've put this out yet, but I'll put it out now. So, sometimes we're thinking, oh, I need this, I need that. Not just the wanting, needing. I need to find a new job now. I need to find a new house now. I need to buy new things now. I need to have this now. I need to be doing this now. Because obviously we think, our ego thinks that we're in control of our lives and we know what's best for us. And that's the thing. We always think, of course, that we know what's best. But anyone that's had experience of this like we have will tell you that, as my dear friend Robert says, nothing makes God laugh louder than when you tell him your plans. And that is so true. And it's not so much God in this case, God bless God. But not so much God, but the beings of light and love that watch over each one of us and guide us in our days. They already know, as our higher self does, by the way, or soul, as our soul does, exactly what's in our lifetime and what's coming and what could be coming and what is coming and what is more than likely coming. I don't believe personally that everything is written in stone and that, tomorrow my life path says I'm going to do this. Something could happen before that. I have free will and I might change that circumstance. I'm sure the ending will be the same, but the path could often be different, and how we learn on our journey can be different. All to do with how we make the choices in our life, our free will. So with that in mind, sometimes we think, like today, I was asking the guides, what's next for me, what's coming, what am I got to look forward to? And of course, they often say to me, just wait. And of course, I get impatient or think that I'm not doing enough, that I should be doing more, because, we're in difficult times at the moment in the world. And there's lots of things happening that you think you'd like to be able to help with as human beings. And because of this, we often feel a bit, not guilty, but like we should be doing more anyway. And I do sometimes feel like that. And I say to them, and they say, just wait. It's not the right time yet. And of course, our impression of time, tomorrow, 24 hours, 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 36 seconds, I listened then, didn't I? 36 seconds. So, our idea of time and theirs, when it comes, when the time's right, when it's best for you, when it's best for your life journey, when it's best for the world. Their idea of time is not the same as our linear idea of time. Their idea of time, I'm talking about our guides, the beings in different dimensions than us who guide us. Their idea of time is when it's right, when the time is right, when the occasion is right to make the right things fall into place, the right things happen. Sometimes, I've written something down, I'm looking at something now, so it's one of the things, yeah. So this is another thing, I think I've talked about this before, is the way things happen to us in our lives. This is supposed to be unscripted, but look, I've got little bits of scrap there. It's not really unscripted, is it? That's script, isn't it? Hey? Alright. Well, it's not really scripted. It's just a note I just took. But, sometimes things happen in our life, and I've talked about this before, and we think, oh my dear, why me? Why someone cursed me? Why has this terrible thing happened? If only. And then years later, days later, months later, aeons later, we suddenly realise, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. And that's true for all of us. If all these things, and some of them are not what we consider to be nice things, pleasant things that happen to us on our life's journey, that make us who we are today. So, you know, you meet some people and you think, oh, they're really bitter and twisted, which you shouldn't think, because we're all God's creatures. But you know, sometimes we let slip and we think, oh, they're not very nice, are they? Why? Because their life's journey has made them bitter or twisted or hateful or wanting to hurt others or wanting to be in pain themselves. And you know, what we can't do is judge, because we're in no position to judge. You know, there but for the grace of God go I is a very true saying in this respect. I'm just going to have a look, because I'm not sure I've put the record button on. I've gone through all this. Just hang on, don't move. Yeah, I did it. Ah, that was good, I remembered. Alright, so, yeah, so basically everything that happens to us in our days is planned. Even if we think it's a terrible thing and a curse and horrible, it isn't. It's part of your journey to make you who you need to become. Not necessarily who you want to become or who you think you should become, but what is needed for your soul's journey. And that is something that in the 3D world that we mostly live in, it's very hard to take on board. But when we raise our vibration enough and raise our consciousness to a higher dimension, or 4 or 5D, we can maybe reflect on this in a better sense. When we're in a very high meditative state, when we do meditation and we let ourselves be open to these things, we can understand things a lot better. And that's what we have to do sometimes, is have faith. I think that's when I mentioned all this in the past, is the video I did called Faith, Have Faith. And it is all to do with faith. I'm very lucky, pardon me. I've got a lot of faith. Faith in God, faith in God's angels, faith in the beings of light and love, who are God's creatures. I know people might not like the word creatures, so I better change that. Who are God's beings, who watch over us and guide us in our days. And it's really important, especially now, that we do have that faith, and living in the now and being in the moment is all to do as well with understanding that everything that's happening to you is for the best, is for your best outcome. Not what you think is the best outcome now, because we're thinking in the future. What is your best outcome for you to be who you need to be? Okay, so try and take that on board, and I wish you all good days ahead. And things are difficult at times at the moment, and things are great as well. Every day is a blessing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you wake up breathing, there is nothing in the world that you cannot do. Okay, put your mind to it. Thank you. Namaste.